WRLP, again, Welfare Reform Liaison Project, is a nonprofit organization, and what we do is we help those try to retool their lives. We turned the program around a little bit from where it was when it first started. We've added quite a few things. What we've done is taken things that give people jobs, and that's what we train them in. We started our CDL program last week, so we have a truck driving school now. We're very excited.
Sign me up.
We also have CNA, where people have a CNA license, as well as electrical, as well as construction. And we have a media works department that has videography and photography, but we also add internet radio. So we teach people how to start their own internet radios and sell it. So if you've got that entrepreneurial spirit, we do that as well. We are your community action agency. Community action agencies are funded by CSBG grants, which are community service block grants, which way back in 1960, that was a President Lyndon Baines Johnson Act. That was one of his things, was to eradicate poverty. And so that is how we began. And we are funded federally, and we believe in eradicating poverty any way we can.
Project ReEntry, you can tell by the partnership with WRLP why we're partners with them. They have so many training programs, and their philosophy is very similar to ours. And that is just to empower individuals to move on with their lives, the lives they were meant to lead. And we specifically work with individuals that are inside the North Carolina prison system. We are in one jail in Cabarrus County, but we started in 2003 in one county, one jail, prison. We are now in 13 prisons and 23 counties across the state of North Carolina. And when people ask, what makes your program successful? Us, the value of this program is the integrity. Is if I worked to earn this, why is somebody else who didn't work for it getting the same? And we answered by saying, you're correct. The North Carolina average, again, returning to prison is 22.5. So I believe our participants will be able to shed light on exactly why they come home and stay home.
Truly an honor and a pleasure to be standing before you today. Through this 16-week course, which I can't go down the line and tell you in detail everything that we do, but we do a lot, which is applications, teach them how to walk, how to talk, how to carry themselves, how to almost think. Project ReEntry also opened the doors for me, because it's a healing for me, because every time I walk into this prison, I'm actually speaking to Greg all over again. And I come back to tell Greg, you can't do it through Project ReEntry. Greg, I didn't have Project ReEntry on the inside. And that's what hurt most, because if I would have had Project ReEntry, which I would have been geared up and had on my armor, had on all my tools to come out here and be a successful man, that 7 years that I walked without a job, I don't think it would have been 7 years. And I had the opportunity to walk back into this prison to be a man now, well equipped, and being thankful. And I say every day, if it wasn't for these guys here giving me a job, I would be back in the employment line, begging for a job.
For me, this whole thing is really special and important to me, because I went away when I was 18 years old. And going away at the age of 18, I never had any kind of responsibilities, never really held a job for too long, never had to pay bills or do anything, and I didn't know what it was like to be an adult on the outside. I got out when I was 33 years old, so I spent 15 and a half years in prison. And so getting out, it's like being in a coma for years, and then waking up and the whole world has changed around you. Everybody's gotten older. Everybody used to go to school with, they're grown now, they got kids of their own. I mean, it was just a really crazy experience for me. And the thing that really helped me was having Project ReEntry, because what they do is they bring in things that may be a barrier to you when you get out and, you know, trying to figure things out. They bring in the health department. They bring people from credit unions. Just different kind of things that we may have never dealt with before, or, you know, may need to know about. This is what it brings to us, and it prepares us and it teaches us. The biggest thing I think for me was the meeting once you get out. I mean, it's good to have all the stuff coming to you while you're in there, but then when you get out, it's like, okay, now I'm surrounded by all these different things. how do I cope? That was in. And it was just unbelievable to see, you know, people that had been through things like I had, and they had went out and they had been successful and they were doing good things, and that there was actually hope. Whenever I go to speak to people now, I always tell them that I come to do two things. One is to bring hope, and the other is to take away excuses.
Type of programs, we need more of them. And getting men and women prepared to re-enter the workforce and society. I am delightful for the commitment that you made to say, I'm going to stay hitched with you, men and women. What you all have done in kind of creating this partnership with Project ReEntry. Thank you all for standing in the gap for these men and women and giving them an opportunity and showing them, in spite of past mistakes, God sees great value in who you are and what you do.
It is a privilege to be with you guys today, part of our community here. As I've listened to all the stories, it's moved my heart greatly, and I'm also moved by those of you who are out there just being proud. I saw you, you're so proud of some of these guys, and that speaks to me as well about people who are willing to make that personal investment. This is what we're accomplishing here. So anytime that we're able to funnel what's good and what's right and what you guys are doing, we can support and we can be a partner, we certainly want to do that. But to hear people, Jason, to hear your story earlier and your example, be the best. When you're in an environment, there's going to be people trying to tear you down the rest of your life. And you know what? You work harder, you work smarter, and you show them that you have the tools and abilities to rise above it all. God bless you. Thanks for letting me be here.